Hi, baby loves. This is your if you need an answer right now reading. So, what you're going to do is you're just going to hold your question in the front of your mind right now as I'm shuffling, and we're just going to pull some cards on like the general energy around your question or around like your situation. So, just hold your question in your mind as I'm shuffling. And in terms of your situation, the first card we've got is the Knight of Pentacles. So you're being handed an opportunity with this, and it's an opportunity that you can like reach out and grab in like the real material world. So some good energy to start with. Let's see what else we've got for your. If you need an answer right now, just hold your question in your mind. We've got the Emperor. So there could be an Aries involved or something that started in Aries season, which is like late March into April. But there's this moment where you really need to like push forward. And the thing about Aries and this energy with the Emperor is that this is energy of believing in yourself and believing in your potential and trusting yourself before you have like the real world proof. So trusting your abilities, trusting your intuition, trusting the things you already know. um, we've also got temperance. So you want to make sure if this is a work question or having to do with like your career, you want to really make sure you've got some work-life balance right now because temperance is about making sure that your cup is full enough so that you can keep pouring into another part of your life or another cup or another person. But it's really important right now that with this situation, you find that sense of balance. So you are pushing forward, you are making a change, but you are doing it in a way that is sustainable. There's a lot of energy, forward movement energy right now. There's a whole lot of like, especially with this new moon we've got coming. There's a whole, or full moon, I should say, a whole lot of energies around making things happen. Maybe that you didn't even think would happen. We got the Hierophant, number 5. So there's this energy of maturity and there's this energy of growth. And we're going from 4 to 5 here. And this is saying there's this progression from being this situation, maybe feeling a little bit like impulsive or things are just like moving in a way that's not predictable into a place where things are more like grounded and you can depend on the outcome of what's happening. All right, so let's pull some more cards around the energy around your question. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, so what I'm going to say is that you're putting in a whole lot of work to make this happen. And that's a very, very beautiful thing. And I want you to keep doing that. However, I just am going to encourage you with the situation to find that balance, to make sure that you're just taking care of yourself and also that you're staying hydrated because we've got cups, we've got water. So making sure that, like, in this very real world way, you are staying hydrated with your situation. Okay, so we're gonna pull one more card, then we're gonna get some clarity on the energy around your situation. We got the Two of Cups. So more cup energy, more water. You could be a water sign, or there could be a water sign involved here. But there's a lot of softness coming in and connection, and actually getting some help from someone or somewhere. If this is a love reading for you, I'm gonna say that there's gonna be a lot of passion here. There's gonna be like a whole lot of wanting to like maybe even like move in together really quickly, and so if this is a love reading, just making sure that you're like maybe slowing your roll a little bit and like just getting to know the person so that the relationship doesn't like blow up and crash in the event that like you just move in after a month or something like that. Hi John, thank you for coming to the reading. All right, so we're gonna get some clarity now. Let's clarify this Two of Cards because I want to find out if this is a romance question for you. I want to find out like what level this connection is at. So the Nine of Swords we've got. So if it's a romance reading for you, you might be so like into this relationship right now that it's actually starting to cause you stress, which is why this Temperance card came up. If this is a finance or otherwise reading for you, the situation that it's occurring right now, it's important that you trust people, you lean on the people that you trust and get advice, or even just like somewhere to like talk, somebody to just who can hold these difficult emotions with you. Uh, okay, so let's clarify this Emperor card because the Emperor is a very strong energy here. So the first card that fell out is the Lovers. I'm covering it because of the algorithm, but we've now got the two major love cards in the deck. The Lovers and the Two of Cups. So if this is a love reading for you, it seems as if there's a whole lot of like physical passion, emotional passion, all sorts of that kind of stuff like coming in and really like making a mark on your life and changing your life. So again, we're coming back to balance. The other card that fell out is the Empress, and this is clarifying the Emperor. So again, this is like a connection, a very sacred connection. Hi, Elite Eagle. Thank you for coming to the reading. So what I'm going to say is for folks that this is not a love reading for, there's going to be some like financial or otherwise like business, somebody who will seem like a very compatible and be able to help you, maybe be a little bit older than you or just mature or be in your industry for longer. But there will be some help, and that help could even be like a mentor or you're mentoring someone. But there is like this sense of guidance that's coming in. And like I said, if this is a relationship reading for you, then it really does seem like a divine counterpart, like somebody that knows you, that feels like you're like meant to be together, and maybe you feel like you've been known them for like a really long time. Okay, so let's clarify this Temperance card. We've got the Ten of Swords. We had the Nine of Swords clarifying the Two of Cups. So the Ten of Swords means is telling us that if you're not able to make this situation balanced, if you're not able to, whether it be work, so if you're working too much, if you're like putting in so much time and energy at your job, but it's not like they're not compensating you, then that's not something you want to be doing. And in this relationship, if it's a romantic thing, that person isn't showing you real world, like tangible things in their behavior that you know are you can trust, and it's stressing you out, then you need to communicate that. Otherwise, it could end the relationship. John, I'm so cool. Thank you. You're very cool too. Okay, so we're going to clarify the Hierophant now. And then after we finish clarifying, we're going to find out from the cards if your question is a no or a go. So kind of like a yes or a no type thing. But clarifying that Hierophant, we've got another nine. So we've got the Nine of Pentacles. So this Nine of Pentacles is really saying that right now in this situation, there's a whole lot of potential for you to gain a sense of stability, for you to gain a sense of like, you might be moving, you might be moving jobs or moving homes, but whatever is happening right now, there's a moment of stability, but there's also going to be the way the world is going to ask you to lean into what you can trust, lean into tradition, lean into what you've always done, what you've always known, and that's going to give you that stability that you need. Where did I get the cards? That's a good question. I have a lot of cards, my friend. So I think maybe Amazon. I'm gonna try and get some links up. But yeah, I'm not totally sure. It's been a while. Okay, so let's also get one more. We've got Strength. So something happening in Leo season, which is coming up soon, later this summer, or having to do with a Leo or another fire sign. But there's like a lot of forward motion and like energy for you to make this a really strong, successful, whatever it be, love or money. There's a lot of energy for you to make that strong and successful. But it might take a little bit of just like groundwork. So you might have to like wait a few months for what you want, like you're planting the seeds now, and then by July or so you're really seeing like the progression of the situation. Let's clarify that Strength though. Strength is clarified by two cards, two very similar cards. Justice, which is number 11, also has to do with Libra, and then the Magician, which is number 1 and has to do with the Aries sign. So these are opposite signs, which means that there's like this wide range, full range of energies from this forward movement with Aries, whereas Libra is more of this like balance. Let's take a look at the whole situation first before we move. Kind of energy. So the cards are really asking you right now, whether it be love or money, just to come in again and find some more balance, because that's going to strengthen the situation, and that's going to make you feel like you don't have to wonder, because all of the wondering, it's stress. It's making you feel like maybe you can't hang on in this situation because you're just so like in your head about everything. Okay, so now we're gonna ask the cards, Is it a no or a go? So hold their question in your mind, and that was fast. We got the Hierophant again. My story is so cool. Thank you, John. I appreciate you. So this is your second Hierophant. There could also be something to do with the number five because Hierophant is the number five. But what the cards are saying is that if you are willing to do the hard work, if you're willing to like, you might have to get a certification or like a degree or like learn something because the Hierophant is this card of like school, education, again, tradition. Some people say like religious teachings, and that's a possibility, but it doesn't have to be. But there is this moment where you can have the outcome that you want in this situation, but you are going to have to like go through this extra step, or not extra, but like this very well rounded understanding of what you're trying to do. Let's get some clarity on this Hierophant since we've got both of them out now. We've got the Death card. So don't be scared. The Death card is actually a really good card to have because the Death card to me means that this is what is my favorite card. Actually, the Death card is my favorite card because I believe very strongly in like spiritual like ancestors and like spirits on the other side. I have a very strong belief in that. So when death comes up, this tells me that like the spirit world, which is just as real to me as like this, this plant here, that they're helping you and they're assisting you and there are like blessings coming from like the other side. Cute. Let's get one more card to clarify. But I think that with this situation, if it is a no or a go, it is a go, but you are gonna have to like trust and take the lessons from your past situations and like recycle them because that's what death is. Death is taking like the nutrients, the decay, and making it into new life. And we've got the Knight of Coins. This is your second Knight of Pentacles. Also, so if this is a money reading for you, I think the money is coming in. But like I said, there's just that like you're gonna have to use lessons from the past. You're gonna have to study something. You're gonna have to maybe learn a new skill. But you can have this thing, and it can make sense, and it can become profitable. Or if it's a relationship or romantic thing, it can become like a solid, healthy relationship. Cute. All right. So next, we're gonna find out what we're gonna pull some oracle cards. What you should like pay attention to on your journey right now since this is a more general like love or money reading, the first thing we've got is cleansing waters. Purification activates life force. So this means that you're gonna need to like if you believe in like spiritual cleansing, like smoke cleansing, or using sounds like ringing a bell or like making sounds with a like pots and pans, all that kind of stuff works really well to like clear out energy. But whatever your tradition or ritual for cleaning a space is, spiritually, energetically, the cards are asking you to do that in this moment. I have the normal version. Yes, that is the normal version, but in the rainbow. Yes, a holographic rainbow. But I think, John, I think I got that deck like in 2023 or something. So I don't know like who the seller would be in this moment. We've got vast vistas. Expand your horizons. So, like I said, being able to let go of with this death energy, let go of what happened in the past, and get the lessons from it and move forward. That's really going to benefit you in this situation in terms of like getting what you want and having it be successful. All right, we've also got taking shelter. The answers are within. So, like I said, coming back to these Hierophant energies, you already know what you need to do here, and it might not be like the easiest like path. You might have to go through like a training program or maybe travel somewhere or move your life in some way. But like you can achieve the thing. There's a lot of energy for you to have the thing and to feel comfortable, feel sheltered, literally. All right, so let's pull just a few more oracles. We've got Wondrous Universe, Walk in Beauty. So Yeah, you got the blessings of the universe here, is what this is saying. And all you have to do is take a chance on yourself and trust yourself. Use that like Aries energy of like stepping forward, and the universe is going to give you what you need. And we've also got choosing your path. All is possible. You had all of these knights at the beginning of your reading. So there's this sense of like making anything happen in this way where you're protected. Your path is protected, the things that you want, and you're able to like make sense of the world. Cute. Okay, so let me. When did I start my channel, John? I started the channel in 2023, I think. And then I've taken some time off, and now I'm trying to turn this into my full-time job. So, but I already have a full-time job, so it's kind of it's a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna pull some Oracle cards. I have this new deck of this Pacific Northwest, like outdoorsy energies that I really like. So we're just gonna get some energy around your situation or in your question. We got number 33, fishing, pondering, calling, reflection. So this is saying the energy around your question is that you need to think and you need to reflect on the things from the past. If number 33 or number 6 means anything to you, that could be important. But right now, you just really, in order to get like your literal food or things like the fruit of your labor, you need to think and just go slower and take the lessons from the past. We've also got 84 Coast Guard, so accepting a responsible safeguard. So just making sure, like coming back to this Hierophant energy, making sure that you know what you're doing, you have the plan laid out, you have studied the things. If let's say you're like going on some big hiking adventure, that you know how to, the terrain, you know how to hike, bring the things that you need with you. But yeah, making sure that you're safe in that sense. And let's see what else. We've got 62 homesteader, respecting a seeker's escape. So coming back to this like reflection pond energy, it's important that you think about what's happening and you honor the moment, you honor how you feel in the moment, and you honor what's going on in the situation. Anyways, that's all I've got for the reading, and I'll stay on for a few minutes and hang out with y'all. Thank you for watching, by the way. And if you're still here, hug the like button or the subscribe button. I post readings almost every day. I didn't for the past 2 days because I've had a bit of a head cold, but I'm better, and so I'm back. Okay, so John asked which card I don't like. I don't like any of the cards. I think the so the Seven of Swords card and the Five of Swords card are two cards that, not that I don't like, but the energies can confuse me sometimes because both of them have to do with like war. The Five of Swords is, well, five in tarot indicates conflict or like tension. So the Five of Swords is like intellectual arguing, just like strategy, all that kind of stuff. Whereas the Seven of Swords is somebody who's literally on a battlefield and they're grabbing five of the swords and running off with them and leaving two. And so to me, I interpret that as like peacemaking, but a lot of other readers will interpret that as like deception. So it's not necessarily that I don't like those cards, I just read them like very differently than most other people do. So it's like complex in that way. Any other questions? Or if you have a question that you want to ask the cards, I'll pull a few cards for you. I've got a little bit of time. Sorry, just ignore that I'm a little sweaty. It's like 90 degrees. I'm in Brooklyn, New York, and it is 90 degrees outside. And I turned my air conditioner off so that I could do the reading. So it's a little hot in here. Any other questions? All right, folks. I'll give you a few more minutes. If you have a personal question you want to ask the cards, you can drop it in the chat and I'll pull a card for you. And I'm just going to leave the reading open for a few moments. Which card is that you do every day? Actually, so this deck is my deck that I use every single day. And this is a, what deck is this called? I can't remember what it's called actually. But this deck is it's so I'm a spiritual person and I have a lot of like spiritual altars, and so I don't put them on camera, but I put my cards on them. And so this is a deck that I keep on one of my special altars that I work with every single day. The altar itself, like I do spiritual energy work on it. And so this deck is a very, I would say like direct connection. So I've got about 30 decks and they all have different personalities. So just like your pets might have different personalities, decks have different personalities. So I might be reading like this one here, the Rider Waite deck. This is my only Rider Waite deck, and it's a unique one because it's a holographic rainbow one. But I'm not so into the Rider Waite deck because I like these in unique interpretations of each card. So for me, like this one is just a little bit more like general, and I chose it for today because of the rainbows, because I like the reflection. And I chose a familiar deck today. So the decks that if you watch my other readings, you'll see a lot of different decks, and sometimes they're themed. So I have animal, like I do pet readings about what your pet is thinking. So like I'll use animal decks then. Um, I have some NYC decks that I really like, or an NYC deck. Uh, do I have a job? So I have a full-time job. I work a 9 to 5 job, and then I have been building this channel for probably since 2023. And so it's kind of like having two jobs because I do everything myself. That's why I don't have thumbnails up because I don't have time because I work full time and it's a lot of energy, so a lot of labor, well, emotional labor, I should say. So, yeah, so I'm hoping to make this my full time job. I'm also working on starting a vlog channel. And so I want to share more of like my life in New York City. I'm a queer and transgendered person, and I'm in New York, like all around the city all the time. So I'm working on a vlog to just be able to share more about myself, about my spiritual practices, and just about what it's like being a queer and trans person in Brooklyn. Yeah. Any other questions, John? Or anybody else that might be in? I have a very cool job in stories. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I love doing this. And so actually last night, John, so like I said, I live in Brooklyn. And so last night, the New York Public Library at their like old historic library in Bryant Park, they had a queer magic night. And so I was one of 9 tarot card readers, and I did about 25 tarot card readings last night. And I got paid, and it was so much fun, and it was like the best thing to interact with so many people in such a cool space. So I took some video, and I'm gonna be showing it in a vlog maybe in about a month or so. Is just a matter of me being able to edit it. But yeah, that was probably the coolest part about this job so far, that I got to read cards last night at the Bryant Park, New York Public Library, in a very historic part of the library. And I got paid for it. And so I love doing this. I love reading for y'all and just kind of sharing my life on the internet. All right. So before I end the reading, and something that I normally do off camera is I will. What country are you from? I'm from the United States. I'm from California. So something I always do at the end of the reading is I just take some moments to take some breaths. So as we're closing up the reading, if you want to stay here with me for a few moments and just kind of like shake out your shoulders, and I'll just lead y'all in a moment of deep breathing. So just kind of bringing some attention to your body, closing your eyes if that feels good for you, or like resting your hands, and just kind of feeling your feet, moving them around, moving your toes around, letting your body feel settled, feel grounded. And then at this part of the week, it often helps me to like call my energy back to me from all the places that I've left it throughout the week. And that's a really simple thing. So all you really want to do is just take some breaths and then ask your energy to come back to you from everywhere where you've left it through the week, and let it like refresh you and regenerate you and make you feel more stable and ready for next week. All right, folks. As you can see, I need to turn my air conditioner back on because I am like sweating. But thank you for watching, John. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for coming to the live. And if you hit the notification bell, I go live frequently, but at random times. My favorite food ever, um, things that are yummy. Anyway, thank you for coming, and I will see y'all later.